Okay. Well, my name is Dark Force, and what I'm about to do is show you some of the new systems we're working on for Freeworlds Ties of War mod for Freelancer. Right now, I'm wandering around the Cron Drift system right outside of Mon Cal space. A lot of jump over there, and I'll show you guys what we've been working on. Some of you may not have seen our new hyperspace system, so in that case, I'll give you a short demonstration. So it's pretty simple, but there's a few steps, so pay attention. First, you have to set your waypoint. So in this case, we're going to use an in-system point, but we're pretty far away. So what we're going to do is set a in-system hyperjump for right next to the system-to-system hyperjump point that's right here. Cron Drift, the Calamari, but I have a waypoint set up right next to it, so I'm going to set my jump there. Now we have the waypoint. You can see that on the screen right here. You hit your middle mouse button. You go up to calculate jump. And as you can see, that creates a point in the system. Right now, it's calculating the jump. Now you can take the jump before it's 100%. What that's going to do is make the jump itself more difficult. So if you wait until you hit 100%, the jump is going to go smoothly. You won't have too many twists and turns to navigate when you're in hyperspace. But let's say you're in an emergency situation, you want to jump to get away from an enemy. You can do that, but the risk is greater. Alright, everything's complete. We're lined up. Nothing you have to do is accelerate. You want to get your throttle as high as you can go, and then you hit the J key. Now, as you can see, this jump is pretty straightforward. Nothing twisting, nothing turning. That's what you want, because if you're in hyperspace and it's a difficult jump, if you start hitting the walls, you could fall out of hyperspace, which could do anything from drop you farther away from where you wanted to go, or you could end up destroying your ship. It does take some time to get from point A to point B, so just be patient. Okay, so as you can see, different location now. We're outside of the asteroid field, which is right back here. You can see. Turn away from that, and we're going to find our system-to-system point. We'll click on that. It's only 10k away, not too far. And we'll just use cruise speed to get there. That other point you're seeing is a holdover from a jump I did earlier. At least as far as I know. This is a brand new system that Rico's been working on, so not entirely sure things are complete yet. But that's okay. Alright, so now we're by our point. In-system jumps are a little bit easier to use because they're already there. All you have to do is line yourself up properly with the jump and hit J, basically. Let's see if I can do that without too much trouble. Oh, okay, so that's pointing right at the Calamari jump, obviously. Alright, so J. Oh, gotta go faster. There we go. I'll see, I left my my mouse flight key on, so we're going a little all over the place right there. That's the other thing. The system jumps that are already in place, those are much safer to use than plotting your own jump like I said, without 100% calculation. And we do have some tooltips up in the corner here. You can clear those with the K key if you already know what you're doing. And as you can see, a system to system jump takes quite a bit longer than an in-system jump that we used before. So if it's a safe jump, you can take the time to go use the bathroom and get yourself a cup of coffee, read a magazine. Reads magazines, what am I saying? Read Reddit. There we go. Alright, so we've entered the new Calamari system, courtesy of Rico. You can see way off in the distance there we have some planets. As yet, without official names, but they're there nonetheless. Alright, so you can take a look here and see what we've got. So, where are we in relation to the galaxy here? Now, as I've shown before, some of the systems are now split up, especially the more important systems. And we're in the process of doing that for all the major systems. So, Coruscant, Pod, some of the other ones will be split up later on. But right now we're starting from the galactic north and working our way down. So, you see here, Calamari is actually, it's got about, I guess this is about 5 systems. So there are going to be a few different ways to get around here. This is where we are now. These will be labeled later on to make a little more sense so we know exactly what part of the system you're in. But for now, we can go take a look around these iceberg moons. We've got a handful of outposts here that will get us from... it'll get us one to Quan Drift, another one to another place in Mon Cal, to Mon Iran, a few different places. So as you can see, using cruise speed is a little on the slow side. It'll get you where you want to go, but it's going to take quite a long time just to get across even one cell here. So what you want to do is set up another in-system jump. Now, if we're trying to go to the center here, where all the action is, presumably, we're going to set a waypoint there. See it off in the distance. Hit your middle mouse button, up to calculate jump. Go quite where I expected it to. Oh, I don't know why it went there. Maybe that's to keep me from getting into a gravity well. Let me try something a little different. We'll plot one a little farther out this time. Better. Okay, so let's wait for that to charge up. One of the other purposes of doing the systems this way is that you get a better sense of the scale of a system. So, while those planets we're actually going to be jumping to, as far as Freelancer is concerned, a different system. But for our purposes, it's the same system just split up in 5 different sectors. Alright, jumps ready. Increase throttle. Hit J. Make sure you're aligned too. Alright, so now you can see we're a little bit closer to some of the outposts in the middle of the system here. I'll go up close and get a good look at those. See if we can jump in there. I'm not sure we can. There may be some interference from gravity wells, so I'll plot a jump. If it works, works. Otherwise, we'll just use cruise. I should note that I do have the super jump ability on, which is an admin ability, so not sure why that other jump earlier screwed up, but in general, when you're playing the game, if there's a planet nearby with a large enough gravity well, you're not going to be able to make a direct jump in like this, so this is just for the purposes of showing you the system, not actual gameplay. Alright, so let's see where we are. Oh, well, we've got a New Republic patrol headed up here. A nice little rise. Nebulon B frigate with its fighter escort. Pretty cool. 2 of them, actually. So let's see where else we can head from here. Got a few options here. So we can go from the Iceberg 1 station place, which I think that's pretty much where we are. I guess we have to work on the name. But we can head from there back to Kron Drift. We can head to Monaran, which is a different part of this system. That's out over here. Or we can head to Mon Calamari, the planet. I think that's probably where we want to go first, so let's head over there. Not too far away, we can just use a cruise to get over there. And that should be a nice smooth in-system jump. And don't forget, if you want to get a better idea of your surroundings, there's a few different things you can do. We've got, go into your turret view. You can actually zoom out really, really, really far. The whole system, in fact. So, a good way just to get a nice look at what's around you. Granted, some of the planets, like Calamari in the distance, were shrunken for scale. That's why these moons here, iceberg, they appear bigger in system than the actual planet back there. But once we jump over there, you'll get a better idea of why it's been done that way. All right, let's find our jump point. Where'd it go? There it is. There we go. So let's jump. Let me align myself properly. There we go. And that's what leaving mouse flight on will do to you. Accidentally turn on the console. If anybody ever does that, just hit escape. Frankly, we should name these videos Freeworlds Tides of War, a cautionary tale featuring Dark Force. You can watch me make all the mistakes so you don't have to. And here we are at Mon Calamari. Jumped in on the dark side of the planet. Here, I'll give you a better idea. Here are the shipyards. So earlier we were over by these moons. That's where the iceberg station was. And as you can see, in comparison now, Mon Cal looks much, much, much bigger. So it kind of helps with scene setting. You get a much closer view of the planet. Everything's more to scale. Right, so there's Mon Cal, also known as Dak or Doc. I don't know. Mon Calamari always sounded more delicious. I'll bring us in closer to the shipyards for a good look. Where the New Republic will produce all their bulbous, blistery ships. A reasonable defense against Imperial Star Destroyers, but not Death Star super lasers. It may seem like I'm going very slow here, but this is actually my maximum cruise speed. Y-Wing's not very fast, of course, but that's just to give you an idea of how far away these objects actually are. These shipyards are actually quite massive, and if you can see, it's just getting into view now. Inside this mooring, or this space dock, or whatever you want to call it, there's a ship under construction, or a ship in there for repairs. And those ships are actually quite large. In fact, I'll come in for a closer look. And there's another one right here. MC-80 winged version, I believe. Slow down a bit just to give you an idea. Ooh. Like I smacked into something there. Apparently came too close for comfort. Hitboxes are generally pretty good, but occasionally there's a misfire. But anyway, things are quite large, quite to scale. Fighter to capital ship, fighter to station. And that was kind of the point of this system redesign, was to give the planets and other parts of the system, make them kind of have features that you want to go up and see, as opposed to making the systems extremely large and have all the objects very far apart. So when you're in what Freelancer considers a system, there's going to be just one part of the system that players are going to congregate around, and then we just split up Star Wars systems into individual sectors. So it kind of helps concentrate the action. Some fighter docks up here. Like they're already dockable, but I think I'm just going to take us around one other place before I wrap this up. And let's see what are our jump points here. On Luxu. Not sure I'm familiar with that one. Let's go see what it's about. And let's get a little preview. How about that? You zoom in here, you can just right click, bring up a small menu here, and if you click on switch to system map, it'll show you what to expect. Like Mon Luxu's another moon or planetoid or planet in the system here. Oh, so there it is in our system, quite far away. But that's why we're using the jump here. We're gonna get ourselves nice and close up. Just remember when you're getting to these points, I know sometimes it's slightly confusing because you see the little dashes in there going one way. So they've been reoriented. Originally they were a little confusing sometimes, so now they should point at the jump point. If they don't, somebody let us know so we can turn them around. Anyway, just align yourself up. Once again, increase your throttle. Undo your mouse aim. That way you don't end up outside the hyperspace. And hit J. Hyperspace from behind is quite psychedelic. Alright, so we've arrived at our destination. Right near Mon Luxu. Here's the Mon Luxu orbital station. A fancy little fighter platform. Let's go take a look. One of those QX5, XQ5 types from TIE Fighter or X-Wing Alliance. Alright, let's see what else is around here. Solar Convector. If I remember correctly, Mon Luxu is a planet that was cased in ice, but turned into like a luxury resort because they used sunlight to melt the ice and change the atmosphere of the planet. What I remember. Could be completely off base on that. Why don't I see the planet itself? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Well, I suppose I was wrong about that being the pleasure planet in this system. What is it for? Find out. Oh. Oh, that's an info card I better do. That one too. Now let's see, where else? I guess this is probably one of the last stops in the system, so next option is to basically go back to Mon Cal and then get out of the system, although we should talk about adding in jumps, get you all around the system. That might make more sense, but we'll see. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. Gives you a pretty good idea of how we're doing the systems now. If anybody has any questions, please let us know. Drop us a line in the comments. YouTube on galacticnews.net. You can visit us on the forums of freeworldstidesofwar.com, or visit us on Facebook. Just look up Freeworlds Tides of War, and we'll be happy to answer your questions and keep coming back for more updates. Take care.